All right. We talked a lot about spirituality. We talked a lot about entertainment. We talked a lot about entertainment. Let's talk about a little bit of spirituality. I'm figuring out things. I don't wanna make a video and unavoidably say one of my fucking secrets or something that I just figured out not on purpose. So I'm not making a lot of videos. As a matter of fact, I don't even know if I'm gonna keep making videos because shit is getting it's getting it's always been hectic, but it's a hectic, man. We getting locked up for shit that we say. We getting locked up for things that we do and things that we say. So you know I know there's some people out here that feel like it's their fault that I got arrested, but it's not. It really isn't. So you should not blame yourself. You are fine anyway. So whatever. Darkness. Darkness is spreading. Um, like uh, like the other guy says. So apparently on YouTube, I'm the only black dark magician, black magic practitioner that indulges in total darkness and not halfway darkness. That means it's there's no light here. Um and it's important to have no light. It's not everybody can do this. Not everybody. I mean, technically yes. Um but there's some people that have limits. There's people. It's not like, I'm not saying like everybody's limited, but there's like a mental construct that's been built by society that if you believe that mental conditioning enough, you will not pass a certain level. You will not walk into a certain door. Um, and it's not on purpose. It's very not on purpose actually. It's a conditioning. So it's actually an automation. So not this isn't as much as I would like to say that this is for everybody. It's not, especially when we're talking about darkness, because you know it's like women are always seen as being the devil. Women are always seen as being part of the devil, and they are. They are of the devil, and he's always been the one responsible for women. The devil loves women a lot. Um, so you would think for a woman, you would think women are full of darkness, but actually, no, it has nothing to do with that. Because that's the thing. When we're talking about metaphysics and psychology, we gotta understand that these are two different aspects of reality, which means, psychologically speaking, you're going to adhere and assimilate and assume your responsibility that you have to hold inside of your social construct, which means nuclear family, monogamy, you know going to church every day because everybody tells you to go to church, or going to school because everybody tells you to go to school. Things that as a society we do are part of our psychology. It's not just a thing that we do, it's part of how we grow up. It affects our mental state because it's important. Those things are important. School is important, work is important, religion is important, you know, aesthetic is important. And when I mean aesthetic, I mean like oh, a perfect girl is boob size is 23, 60, 23, whatever. I don't remember the code, whatever. But you know what I mean. So all these things are automations that we grow up and we take for granted. Actually, in our mind, those things, those light based parameters for life are ingrained in our system. It's almost genetic. It's almost hereditary. It's not genetic, but it's almost hereditary at this point. It's not, but almost. You know. So darkness is hard to accumulate. It's already hard to accumulate, and you would think not. And you would think women can easily access darkness, but most women have a tremendous amount of light in them because of their emotions, because they're emotional. Emotions come from a very light based mindset. It's not from darkness, because believe it or not, well, darkness is a void. I'm not saying if you practice black magic you should become like a void, but you should, but in a different sense, not in the same sense. But darkness is a void. So a void is absence of everything, you know. Women have a general light in them, and I guess that makes them balanced in some sense, in some way, shape, or form. I don't really see it that way, but that I'm radical in my belief system, if I should say, if I dare to say. I don't really believe what I just said, but if I compare it to other people, I'm radical, you know. But so this light that women have can be annoying. To me, to a black magician, it's aggressive, egregiously annoying. I don't like that. It's good to have emotion. It's good to feel real love. Because if like the guy that I just saw says, if I tell you I love you, for real. It's not a joke. And so the thing is, there is women. The reason why their emotional state is more of the light is because they use it as a weapon. Women use their emotions as a weapon. So if you are someone that uses emotions consistently as a weapon or any form of manipulation, that's from the light. Because in darkness, you don't need to do that. You don't need to manipulate anyone. You don't need to manipulate people. You don't need to you don't need to make your point across. You don't need it. It's because the thing about women, the problem with women is the notion that they are capable of feeling guilt, and they're capable of feeling great and immense guilt. And when you feel guilty, you're going to start lying. And you're going to start screaming. And you're going to start lying. And you're going to start being defensive. And then you're going to start screaming. And then you're going to start lying. So that's why emotions are a major no-no in the world of darkness. Because in the dark, we are all the same. So there's no shame to have. In darkness there is no color. In darkness there is no difference between people. So as in the light, it just shows your whole fucking face. The light shows everything. you know um so the problem is the guilt that women feel, and this guilt comes from a place of insecurity, which is also another light based trait. A person that is light, that has light bases in them, still has guilt. They still have insecurities. They're still worried about what other people might perceive of them. That's how you know that you still have light in you. If you still feel those emotions, if you still feel like you owe something to somebody, if you still feel like you could have done better, if you still feel like all those things, if you still feel defensive about your personality, the way you dress, whatever, that means you still have light in you. Just light-based emotion. That's why I said the other day. So for women, believe it or not, as much as there is women Satanists and women Luciferians, there's not a lot of them, and there's not a lot of them, and even those women, I feel like, still hold some guilt. I feel like dudes have less problems dealing with guilt and shame than women have. Although in her defense, women have been shamed and guilt tripped their whole lives for many generations. So it is what it is. It is what it is. So women, don't feel guilty about anything. You have nothing to feel guilty about. Don't feel ashamed. You have nothing to feel ashamed about. And it's not just women, but there's a lot more women that have difficulty with that area, because you have to understand that you are asking her, where's my chain? You're asking her to stop doing something that basically she uses to survive everyday life. You're basically telling her you don't need your parachute, just jump. Most people are not gonna do that. Most people are not gonna just jump if they don't have a parachute. So dudes too. Dudes might have some difficulty connecting to darkness. Because of the same reasons. Shame and guilt. And the only person that really makes you feel shame and guilt is the Christian faith. The Christian faith makes you feel shame and guilt. So that's why it's a light-based energy. And a lot of people, you've built your whole thought form, you built your whole mental structure off of the light. So if you're entering a world of darkness, you got to understand that you're going to have to lose to become very powerful, to become very good at it. You're going to need to lose your crown of thorns. See, i.e., we call it if you don't know, now you know. Okay? I'm the chief. First of all, by the way, I didn't even introduce myself. My name is Lucifer, aka I'm better than you, aka I'm the shit in the can, aka I ain't got nothing better to do, aka Chief of Infernal Things. Yes, sir. I'm the Chief of Infernal Things. So, and this has been confirmed to me by JD Temple. Sorry for naming you. Sorry for the name drop. But it's been because the reason why I'm saying this is because a couple of weeks ago, he hit me up and he said Shemyaza. I don't know. I don't remember. I think it was Shemyaza. I think he did a ritual with Shemyaza or did a ritual with what's her name again? I think it was Shemyaza anyways. But I was thinking about another witch. I forgot her name. Another goddess witch. I forgot her name. Whatever. So he told me that after the ritual, the demon in the ritual said to follow me. Because I'm chief of the infernal things. So what I say goes. Alright? If you don't get it, and if you didn't know, now you know. But baby. Okay. If you didn't understand that reference, I was referencing Notorious B.I.G. Okay. Not that I think that somebody didn't understand that reference, but there could be a couple people that didn't get it. So anyways, like I was saying, in the infernal realm, that whole thought process, that whole activity, that whole pre-programming and programming, that whole conditioning, that whole persona, that whole instilled notion and philosophy is a crown of thorns. It's the same crown that Jesus, Jesus wore on his head. So it's funny that he's wearing a crown of thorns, and what's going on, what is going on with the world right now is a spiritual battle. Because I don't think I'm the only one. I think a couple people in here thought that by this time, with the shit that's going on, that we were physically going to get on it. You know what I mean? That we was physically gonna get down. A lot of people thought it was gonna be physical. A lot of people thought we was gonna start spraying niggas in the streets. But nah, this war, everybody understands. Even though people don't understand everything, they at least understand that they are inside of a spiritual battle, regardless of if they're, active or not active. People understand that they are inside of a spiritual battle. I don't need to tell you that, of course, duh. But it's important. It's important to understand that, because crown of thorns. What is a crown of thorn? It's like something with spikes. It's spikes drilling into your head. And what's going on right now? We got things drilling ideas into our head, hurting our souls. Hurting our souls with these notions and these mediocrities and these stupid nonsense. So it's not easy to get rid of something that's been ingrained in the entirety of the nation. You have to give yourself a little bit of a break. You have to cut yourself some slack. Cause this crown of thorn has been around for more than 3,000 years. This programming, this engendering, this conditioning has been around for more than 3,000 years. So you're basically, when you are detaching yourself from the matrix, dare I say, when you are exiting the matrix, you are exiting for 3,500 years of mental programming. 3,500 years. So cut yourself some slack. You don't get it right away, it's not that bad. You know, there's worse, you know. Of course, that's a kudos to me too, because that means I have defeated 3,500 years of mental programming. Little old me, Jenny from the block. Jenny from the block defeated 3,500 fucking years of mental programming, and you can do it too. Andrew Tate is doing it, even though I'm pretty sure he, you know, based off what he says, he always knew. And I'm not surprised. That doesn't surprise me. It makes sense because I always knew. You know, I always knew, and so I'm not surprised if somebody comes around and says, "I always knew this was bullshit." Yeah, pretty much. You always know. This is not new to us. Most people that are really like us, this ain't new to us. We always knew all this was gonna be bullshit. We always knew that this bullshit was gonna come around. We always knew everything was bullshit. We always knew. So anyways, back to what I was saying here. It's darkness. And I'm saying that in case I have another woman apprentice. In case another woman apprentice comes along, you have to understand that this is not a joke. You have to understand that we're not playing games. You have to understand that it will be asked of you to relinquish some of that darkness. The reason why I say some, here we go. Here's the contradiction. The reason why of that contradiction, Lilith. Lilith is a walking contradiction. If you don't know that, if you didn't know, now you know. And that's not a big secret. She doesn't give a fuck. She does whatever she wants whenever she wants. You know, like, if you don't know that, then you never used Lilith in your life. Period. So that's not a, you know. So Lilith is a walking contradiction. And because Lilith is a woman and she likes to act like a human, you can scream at me later, Lilith. Sorry for saying that way, but it's not a trait that I don't like humans. So it's obviously not my favorite part of you, you know. So she's a walking contradiction. So some of that darkness will be asked of you to, some of that light will be asked of you to relinquish, which is very important, because losing that light is what makes you not be a stalker. You losing that light is what makes you not be a stalker. Losing that light is what is going to having more darkness, because you can't just lose the light and don't replace it with anything, because then you're screwed. Because the God, some people think the God don't exist. Well, let me tell you. Okay, so let me throw you a bone. For everybody that think God don't exist, y'all niggas stupid as hell. Nah, for real, I'm gonna say it like that, so that the message gets through. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to sound halfway. This is not a halfway shit. I'm not sure if he exists. I'm not aware if he exists. No, he fucking exists. Okay, God is an entity that is very alive, very existing, very capable of thinking, very capable of communicating. It's alive. It's a thing. It exists and it's there. Period. And the story, I don't want to fucking hear anything more about it. I don't want to hear some blah, 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 the Christ and the church and the Bible said, blah. I don't give a fuck. You want to know why I don't give a fuck? Because I have spoken to this motherfucker before. Many times. I had a close relationship with this some bitch. So I don't want to hear, I don't care what fucking people say. I know who the fuck this man is more than you. Period. I don't care if you're Pope Saint Baptist the 54th. I don't care. I know him more than you. End of story. End of story. Period. Period. there's no if and buts about it. There's not no. I know him more than you. Period. So now that I've said that, with that said, you have to understand that getting rid of an omnipotent an entity that can be anywhere and anyone at the same time at any point in time in the universe, multiversally, fucking all kinds of shit. It's gonna take more than you just being like, fuck you, God, I don't like you anymore. He doesn't fucking care. He can still use you. Why? Why can he still use you? Because your cup is empty. An empty cup is always full. That's how he sees it. That's how God sees it. God sees it like this. An empty cup is always full. To him, an empty cup just means, well, that's just another opening for him. That is not bad news to him. It doesn't even matter to him. It doesn't even change anything. He can still be part of your life. He can still fuck shit up. He can still, that you didn't change shit. You being not with him doesn't change jack squat. You know what I mean? Now, if you're really tired of that energy consuming your life, because that's another thing that he does, he consumes people's lives. Now, if you're tired of that energy and you can't fucking stand it anymore, well, you're gonna have to replace it with something else. That's your choice. I would consider you going to go see Lucifer and Friends because they're fucking awesome, because they're out of this fucking world. But that's just me. Or you can choose another religion. Some people do that. I've heard stories. I've seen some things. So, but me personally, I'd be down with I would be down with Satan if I was in your shoes. You know, like real, I'd be down with Satan if it was shoes. But some people haven't come into that realization because God did not have a plan for them. God did not, he just didn't care, you know, and that's a good thing, you know, because God's plans usually involves with your ass getting torn to pieces. Usually 90%, 99% of the time usually involves your ass getting torn to shreds. Usually. So, entering the world of darkness is going to require a little bit of effort. It's going to require some mental effort. Now, you don't need to go read no books. I'm not going to do a whole fucking book list because for some fucking reason, I ended up with the fans. I have whatever. I don't know if, maybe I shouldn't call you guys fans. Whatever. I don't know what viewers. I have viewers that don't like to read. I don't know why. I don't know if it's some sort of cosmic joke. I don't know. I don't know if it's some form of cosmic joke. I don't know if I'm getting laughed at, but for some reason that all the 90% of my viewers hate reading. A lot of people don't like reading. Reading is boring. I understand completely. And no, it's not going to require you reading anything. Maybe sometimes it does, because there's a certain limit to your knowledge at the end of the day. If you don't know something, you gotta go check out the thing that you don't know, you know? So that might happen, because believe it or not, self improvement is very connected, obviously. Well, believe it or not, I say that, but whatever. To some people, that's gonna sound obvious, but to me, it wasn't. So, believe it or not, self improvement is something that's very connected to Satanism, especially when we're talking about conspiracies and whatnot and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, you have to understand that some of these things, there's people out there that do not want you to access that power. So they will say and do anything in order for you to not access that power. So as I was saying, believe it or not, self-improvement has a lot to do with demonology. They're basically motivational speakers. Demons are motivational speakers, man. Of course, when we're talking about Asmodeus, and Modus is not playing, so he doesn't fucking, he's not playing. So he's a little bit more of a drill instructor than a motivational speaker. Asmodeus ain't playing. Beelzebub doesn't really say much. He's not a very talkative guy, but he's helpful. He's there when you need him. Now Lucifer and Lilith, though, they're like Tim Robbins, and I don't know who else. You know what I mean? Like, those are the chief motivational dudes. These guys are going to go hard to the paint to make you better. They're going to go hard to the paint to make you better. Of course, you got to do 50% of the work. He's not going to do all the work. So you're going to have to do half. You're going to have to meet him halfway. But he'll help you in your process. So it's kind of that's why I remember saying demonology is easy. I was high. I was high when I said that, bro. No, I'm kidding. But it's not that easy. I'm not gonna lie. It's not that easy. It's very complicated, actually. I have a mind for it, but it's complicated. It's not. It's really hard, actually, because it's confusing. It's confusing because a lot of fake people are saying real things. That's why it's confusing. A lot of fake people are saying real things, so it's kind of like, whoa, what? Like, so you kind of have this distrust for Satan. You have this distrust, this ingrained distrust for Satan, even if you feel like he might be a real person, even if you feel like you have more affinity with him than you do with God, you're still distrustful because of everything that was said, all the books that was written, all the media that was put out there, all the stories that was taught and told to you as a child and growing up. So it's very hard. Well, at the end of the day, all you have to do is the decision to not give a shit. But it's a hard decision to make. It's a hard decision to make, and you don't know what's on the other end. You don't know if I'm bullshitting. You don't know if I'm just trying to get you, torn up. And I keep saying I don't like humans, so it makes sense if that's what I was trying to do and shit. But, whatever. It is what it is. And I know some people are interested in entering the world of darkness, but I feel like they're afraid of God. They're God fearing. I feel like a lot of people that want to enter that world are afraid of going 100% in it because they're afraid of what might happen. They're afraid that, you know, God's gonna punish them and shit like that. But it don't work that way. It's your choice. You have free will. You can do whatever you want. If you choose to follow the devil, you can choose to follow the devil. Nothing wrong's gonna happen. You know what I mean? So it's really self-care. That's a big thing that I just said right there, man. That's a big thing right there, man. You have free will. You can do whatever you want. So there's it's mostly guilt and shame, which is the biggest problem with demonology from my standpoint, from where I'm looking at. Guilt and shame is the biggest problem in demonology. Guilt and shame is the biggest reason why people are not attaining an insurmountable amount of power. Me personally, I've showed you what Lucifer can do, and this is just that's like that ain't shit. You know what I mean? I showed you what he can do. If you was paying attention, I showed you what he can do. You know, there's other people that thought that their magic system was the best, and then I came along and challenged it. There's a lot of people that, you know, that taught certain things, and that was thanks to Lucifer. That was Lucifer's work. That wasn't me, because I'm Lucifer. It wasn't me. He works through me, you know. So entering the world of darkness for a black magic practitioner, I feel is important, and it's important. It's very important. It's very important, man. So, as I was saying, the women out there that are listening, we are really about that life. Okay? We and it's not like there's some magic practitioner, they want to do it like on TV. And I'm not gonna lie, I do too. I'm not gonna lie, I wanna do it on TV because that's what I'm used to. Like, that's the thing. That's how conditioned we are. Check this out, right? So sometimes I'm like, don't you want to sacrifice? Or like, you don't want me to go like kill a squirrel or something or some shit like that. Like, I'm literally like, he tells me that I don't need to do that, and I'm literally even though he told me, even though it comes from the lion's mouth, I'm still challenging the idea. Even though it was told to me by the big boss himself, I'm still challenging the idea. That's how ingrained the shit is, you know? Like, sometimes I'm doing ritual. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I'm like, am I doing this right? You know, like, am I fucking doing this right, bro? Like, am I, you know, like, there's no blood, there's no this, there's no that. I'm using water. Like, what the fuck? You know? But we have our own dangers, you know, and they're demons for a reason. It's just most people don't know why they're demons. When you become a demonologist, well, no, a demonologist like me understands why they're demons, or understand the demon in them. I don't want to sound, you know, I don't want to make assumptions or sound disrespectful. But I understand the notion of demonhood because I've seen it. You know, they are capable of doing very fucked up shit. They're very capable of doing very fucked up shit. So my kind of demonology might seem a less radical, but I would say it's more potent. I have, in the words of Eisenhower, I have become death. Now look in despair. I feel like that phrase, even though it was used to describe the nuclear bomb, I feel like that sentence, that quote, explains magicians the best way possible. Like when you become a magician, when you become like a magician, right? I feel like that quote relates to all of us. I have become death. Now look in despair. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people are looking at you in despair because they know that you have become death. And you got to get rid of that shame and guilt. Some people don't practice magic because of the shame and guilt they feel about them becoming death. But it's not your fault. You were born with a gift. It's not your fault. You're born with a guilt. If other people see that in you and they feel that that's a bad thing for them, that's the fear that's making them think irrationally. So they look at you in despair. That's why people always looking at you. People always looking at me all the fucking time, bro. Like people are driving and they're not even looking at what's in front of them. They're looking at me, you know. So the guy could just like bow right into a truck. He would never see it because he's looking at me. You know, people look at me all the time and they're looking at me in despair because they'll never become me. They'll never be like, well, that's what they tell themselves. They tell themselves that they'll never be like me. They tell themselves that they can't become like me. They already, these people that look at you, even though some might look at you for positive reasons, most of them are not looking at you with a positive light. Most of them are looking at you in despair because they're kind of like, you know, I'll never be that guy. I can never have a soul. That person never don't know you, but he's looking at your soul. He's looking at your spirit, and he's saying to himself, his spirit is talking to him, and he's talking to his spirit, and he's telling his spirit that he'll never have a spirit like yours. So they're watching you in despair, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's no shame to have about it. I mean, of course, death is not a beautiful thing. Death is not a beautiful thing. Death is not something that you want to necessarily represent, but there's nothing wrong with being like that. It's not your fault. The only reason why you've become deaf is because people are so fearful of everyone and everything that these same people will do stupid shit to you because they're jealous and they're envious, so they'll do stupid shit. And when they do stupid shit, they're the ones that end up receiving the consequences, which sometimes can end up being fatal. Which you already know. I'm not telling you anything new. But that's the reason why you've become deaf. It's not because you're a bad person that you became deaf. It's not because somebody decided to curse you with the power of fatalities. That's not it. No, it's just nature doing its thing. It's just nature doing its thing. It's nature because nature has a lot to do with this. The other day I was having a conversation with somebody. I was having an argument, and the person was kind of like, this person is talking to me, a boss magician, and this person is telling me that I don't know about nature. The only reason why I'm like this is because of nature. I had to I had to meditate. I didn't have to. I chose to meditate. I chose to be one with the all. I am one with everything. I feel everything. I feel everyone and everything. I feel everything. I don't use nature today because I don't care anymore. I don't need to care. That doesn't mean I have to be disrespectful towards nature. And I do spend time a little bit with nature, very rarely nowadays. But that's because I just don't care anymore. I spent so many years walking this earth, and I still walk today. I spent so many years walking. I spent so many years meditating. I spent so many years outside trying to feel life, trying to grasp life. I don't need to do that today anymore. Doesn't mean that I shouldn't. I just don't need to. And the moral of the story is nature might be fun and all, but I'm important too. And I feel like people fight more for trees than they do for other people, for living, breathing, important, might be special people. So that's why I'm kind of like, you know, meh, so I'm kind of mid on the whole nature shit. But nature is good. And yes, there's a lot of magic in nature. Yes, there's a lot of, you can harness. It's good to breathing fresh air. It's good to have fresh air in your lungs. It's good to be outside a little bit. Not that much. Shit is getting dangerous. People are crazy. You can't just go somewhere and meditate. You can, but it's at your own risk and perils. People are nuts. So, right, things have changed. If this was 20 years ago, I would tell you to go outside all the time and meditate outside and sit outside and take in this. I would tell you all that shit. But we're not 20 years ago. We're today. And today, a lot of things have changed. A lot of things have changed. I have birds that follow me. When I came back, and this person is talking to me about like magic and like this person is trying to teach me magic. This non-practitioner is trying to teach me about magic. So that's why I'm kind of like, people are nuts. People are nuts. They're completely off their fucking meds. Sorry, I didn't mean to project there, but they're nuts. People are crazy. So nature. So when I came back, you remember I made a video where there was like flocks of bird everywhere. It happened again when I came back. When I came back to town, there was flocks of bird everywhere. Dark Omen is coming back, which was dope. So I'm still connected to nature. I don't do videos outside because I don't need to. You know what I mean? And my cell phone doesn't have that much memory. I would have to buy a SD card. But nonetheless, that's one of the reasons why I don't go outside, because I don't care. That's why I don't feel the urgency of doing outside videos. I don't think it matters. In my case, it doesn't matter because I'm almighty. I'm all powerful. Y'all seen it. I showed it to you. You got the proof. It's on video. You know me. So talking to me about nature is weird. You know, like it's like you're not there, you know, like there's something missing, you know. So anyways, darkness, man. Darkness is not a easy power to harness. And another thing, for all you real demonologists. So put these words in your vocabulary so you can harness more darkness. Use the crown of thorns when we're talking about religious and social constructs. Call it a crown of thorns. This is a word you need to learn as a demonologist. Do not refer to the light as the light. Refer to the light as the crown of thorns. Don't refer to the light because you have a crown. So because when you do spells, you gotta do spells in a way that demons will understand what you're trying to say. So that's why I say crown of thorns. If you tell demons, I would like to remove my crown of thorns, he will understand instantly what you're trying to say. Because that's what they've been trying to do for the past, I don't know how many centuries. You know, I don't know how many millennias. That's what they've been trying to do since forever. So you say crown of thorn. This is demonology 101. We have our own encompassing power. Some people call it the God. I would have called it Lucifer. But Lucifer has a disdain. Lucifer does not, he has a disdain for, Lucifer wants to be a leader. Lucifer is the embodiment of leadership, but which God is not, because God at the end of the day is no thing, and Lucifer is something. So the yin and yang, there's a yin and yang there, reference. There's a yin and yang there if you look close enough. But he doesn't want to be referred to as God. And he doesn't like to be referred to as God, and he doesn't like to be referred to as a master, as your master. He is a master, but he's not your master. So what do we call the darkness in the world of black magic? The darkness, and remember, this is another word that you have to keep in your vocabulary so that when you do your black magic spells, they will know exactly what you're saying. So to us black magicians, this is a secret. I've been told that this was a secret before, because I said this in my other video and then I received a message that was a secret. I didn't know. I did not know. I didn't think it was a secret. So anyways, I'm going to repeat it one more time because I feel it's okay right now with everything that's going on, with all the craziness that's going on and stuff. I feel it's okay to say it. Because we need a little bit of clarity, you know what I mean? We call it the abyss. And the abyss, I have always been a follower of the abyss. I have always gazed into the abyss because I was curious. It always, just the notion, the first time I heard the quote, when you gaze into the abyss gazes right back, I wanted to know what the abyss was. So the abyss is a very potent, very powerful thing. It's a thing where that everything lives in. It's an abyss. So abysmal magic vs Christian faith. That's how you got to perceive it. So it's not Lucifer versus God. It's abyss versus Christian or God, whatever. And that's how he wants it. And that's how he wants it, and that's how he wants it. That's how he wants it. That's how he perceives this. He doesn't perceive it as he's the all-encompassing energy. He perceives it as the abyss is the encompassing energy, and he is the representative, or yeah, basically. He and Lucifer, Satan, represents the abyss. He's a representative of the abyss. He's the king representative. He's the chief representative of the abyss. So we use abysmal energy. We don't use God energy. We think that we're using God energy. Some people think they're using God energy, but they're using abysmal energy. If you're doing black magic, you're using abysmal energy. That's where your energy comes from. That's where your energy should flow from. Your energy should flow from the abyss. And for somebody that's always been interested in the abyss, I can tell you quite safely that it's okay. Nothing's gonna happen. Your eyes aren't gonna turn black, and things like that. It's an abyss. It doesn't do anything. It's just power. It's like an infinite amount of power. That's all it is. It doesn't attack people. It doesn't do things. It doesn't go around fucking shit up. It's actually pretty still. It's a still thing. It's still waters. The abyss is like still waters. There's no current. It feels good when you're in it. Like it's just there everywhere. Is that the way? It's actually, and to be quite honest, the abyss is not even the strongest way to amount to darkness energy. And I'm not going to tell you how, but it's not. I mean, I am going to tell you how, but not right now. You'll figure it out later. So, like I said, getting rid of the light is not enough. You got to replace it. Because an empty cup is a full cup at the end of the day. The empty cup is a full cup at the end of the day, because if your cup is empty, I can put anything in it. I can put whatever I want in it. So now that your cup is empty, which is a real notion, it's a real psychological notion, and it's a real magical notion, obviously. King of Cups, Queen of Cups, Queen of Cups, Cups, whatever. I don't know why I said that like that, but whatever, it happens. It's a real thing. So you have to take it seriously. You need to take it seriously. And remember, there's a lot of tarot words. You're going to have to become the tarot. That's why I don't use tarot anymore, because I am a tarot. I am the tarot. The tarot live in me. So you are the cup. You are the wand. You are the fool. You are death. You are the wheel of fortune. You are strength. You are the lover. You are all those things live inside you. They're aspects of your personality. They're aspects of yourself. They're aspects of humanity. So when your cup is empty and you're an atheist, it doesn't matter. All my friends are atheists. His cup is empty, man. He's a cool guy. No, I can't hang around with him, because he's still susceptible to being a stalker. God can still work through him. And I can't hang around people that God can still work through, because it affects me. It affects me in a negative way. In a very negative way. So I can't hang around people that still have light in them. I gotta hang around people that have no light in them. Complete darkness. Only those people are not stalkers. Gang stalker. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm talking about gang stalking. So, because a lot of people think gang stalkers are like real people. Nah, man, they're brainwashed individuals. They're brainwashed or possessed individuals, and they're not possessed by no damn demon. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that. They're not possessed by no goddamn demon. Pardon my language. So, I can't hang around people that are still part of the light. And everybody's part of the light. So that makes it really hard. Like that makes it a bit complicated, It's a bit of a conundrum. But it's okay. I can deal with it. It's not that big of a deal either. Let's not go over the top here. But I'm not prone to hang around people that still have God in them. It's dangerous. It's not good for me. It's not good for my mental health. It's not good. It's not good, period. It's not good for my own well-being. So I can't hang around people that still have God in them. So if you follow this road, if you follow this path, if you choose to follow me, you have to understand that we do not work with angels and we do not work with God either. We are two different things, two separate companies, two separate entities. We don't work like they do. We don't do the things like they do. We don't do it the same way. Now, I digress. Earlier I said Lilith is a walking contradiction. Earlier I said that. And I also said that some and not all of the light will be asked of you to get rid of. Number one reason, because Lucifer loves women and he doesn't want women to feel bad or cry. That's the number one fucking reason, if you're asking me. In my fucking opinion. You know what I mean? Because it's because women aren't meant for complicated things. They're not meant for complicated things. There are lots of women that are capable of doing complicated things, but their original purpose was not for complicated shit. So that's why when you put a woman in a stressful position of having to find a solution to a complicated matter, they don't like it. You know what I mean? Like, they hate that shit, man. So don't do it. So anyways, as I was saying, number one, I feel like, it's because he likes women and he hates to see them cry and he doesn't want to make them feel stressed, which is an unfair advantage. That's why witches are technically more powerful. Women witches are technically more powerful than dude witches. I'm sorry. I said it. I'm sorry. I said it and I'm sorry. I truly am. I truly am. But women witches usually are fucking powerful and like really powerful, like, so more than dudes, it's an unfair advantage because Lucifer he wants to keep them safe. He wants to keep them safe, so he'll give them more power. And it's an unfair advantage. It is. It really is. Am I okay with it? More or less. Well, yeah, because I'm more powerful than all of you, but but so yeah, I'm okay with it right now. I don't know if I would have been okay with it being something else, but what I mean? No, I'm kidding. I'm playing. No, but you could still become a very powerful male magician, obviously. It's just that on an everyday basis, on a regular basis, on an everyday basis, women can skyrocket into, magic hood, witch hood at an alarming fast rate, because everything is just given. It's not given to them. It's just they just bow. All they have to do is be there. You know, all they have to do is look pretty. You know, and it's okay. I don't really mind. It's the world of magic. You know, and there's always workarounds and stuff like that. And there's always you are a factor too in magic. It's not just other people. Obviously, you're the biggest factor in magic. Like I said, there are some very powerful male magicians, obviously, but I'm just saying, it's just like off the whim, you know. So a part of your light will be asked of you to get rid of. We will not push you to remove all of it at a fast rate. We understand that for women, removing the part of light that they have, even though they might be black magicians, the part of life that's still there, it's okay to have. And here I'm talking about love, because women are always about love. Women's just, everything is love. Lucifer is about love. Women are about love. So they go well together. You know. But that's the part that's not asked of them to get rid of. Of course, love, though, is something that, regardless of how powerful you can be, little girl, you will have to do 50% of the work, and he'll do 50% of the work. Which means if you really want love in your life, and you really, you know, that's really what you want, you need to understand that you need to work on yourself. And if you have worked on yourself, you need to be with someone that also worked on themselves. You know, don't come at me. Don't come back around here saying, well, there's no good man, blah, blah, blah. No. Because you can manifest the man that you want. You're being lazy. You can manifest the man that you want. So don't come telling me there's nobody that wants you. And not only that, but did you do the work on yourself? Did you work on yourself? Yes or no? If the answer is no, then don't come tell me there's no good dudes out here. Because you probably skipped him. You probably saw him. You probably even dated him. But you didn't take him seriously. So don't tell me there's no good dudes. There are some good dudes. But you have to do the work in order to get that love that you're always talking about. And for a demonologist like me, I cannot contradict that notion, especially being the man that I am, because I need that in my life. Like I need to understand that, because I don't. like no, but for real, I thought I did, but I really don't. Because okay, I'm gonna be bringing up old shit here. I'm gonna repeat myself, but I guarantee you, because there was a big process that happened recently. There was a lot of answers being given. There was a lot of magic. We were doing a lot of magic. I was doing a lot of fucking magic. I was doing some crazy ass shit, and I wish girl was there to tell you, because I was doing some crazy ass shit. You know, I was bending reality. Like I bent reality in front of her eyes, and I told her, check this out, I'm gonna do this, and that's what happened, and boom. You know, and she's capable too. She's very capable. I don't know. She didn't really tell me nothing, but I know it's because of me. You know what I mean? Because she manifested things too. She was capable of manifesting things too, and I it's because of me. Come on, it was because it was so potent. Her manifestation was so potent, and so like it didn't take time. The manifestation she didn't take time, and it was bang right in your face. That's me. That's my teachings that did that, man. You know, so there's a question people asking themselves, which is a stupid question I'm not gonna answer, but I'm gonna answer it a little bit. So people are like, well, if you're so fucking powerful and talented, what the fuck are you doing in this fucking situation? I'm in this situation because I'm so powerful and potent. Duh. You know, like, you know. Anyway, so, but we're not gonna go down that route. That's another story for another day that we will not talk about because I don't want to go to jail again for like the 500th time. So, anyways. So the contradiction here is, well, you have to be total darkness. How can you still have light? It's not that they still have light, because she can become full dark. It's just love. It's just, you got to be careful with women, because you don't want her to turn cold. That is not useful to us. You don't want her to turn cold. You don't want her to be empty. You don't want her to feel empty inside. It's actually, you want her to be very energetic. You want her to have energy, you know, so you can use that energy back to do whatever you need to do in your dark rituals. So most people think like, some people, I don't think everybody thinks that, but some people might think like a relationship with a demonologist is like kind of boring and shit. You just fucking sit there in the dark and stuff like that. No, actually, it's very animated. You know, we're not. It's very animated. You know, I'm an introvert though, so don't expect much. But it's very animated. There's a lot of me pumping energy into you. You know, it's important. It's important because your energy is important, you know. So we want you to feel good. We need you to feel good, so we can then use that energy. Say, oh, there you go. Somebody lost their wings. Because I said that a couple of days ago, and now I'm repeating it, and I didn't even, anyway. So you need that. You need that energy. I need that energy so I can use back. You being depressed is not good for me. You being depressed is not good for me. You feeling down is not good for me, even though it might happen from time to time, obviously, but it doesn't help me. And what I mean by that is, you would think, as a cannibal that I am, that I would want to eat that, you know, that you're all weak and shit, so you're easy prey. We don't. Nope. Nope. That's not what we need. What we need is your energy, you know. So we want you to be happy. We want you to be excited. We want you to, you know. So it might look like, but that's where you need to be careful, because you don't want that. You don't want that energy to turn into light, you know. So girl needs to understand that what y'all doing is to create more powerful rituals as a black magician, you know. So like that, if she changes, she'll notice it, you know. And you won't even have to tell her, because I'm having like kind of light right now. I'm a little bit too hype, you know. So that's what we need. We don't need depressed people. We don't need you know, whatever. You know. And this is the key to powerful magic. This is the key to powerful magic. This is one key to sex magic. This is one of the keys of sex magic. There's a lot of keys. Sex magic is capable of doing a lot of things. And I remember on this channel, I said sex magic. Well, I didn't say sex magic was nothing. I said it was hard. And I still feel the same way. You know, I still feel the same fucking way. I still think it's hard. I still think I don't think it's easy. There's a lot of things that are unfair for men, you know, and because look at sex magic. We're the ones doing all the work. You know, like we're the ones that's doing all the work. And I'm not a fuck machine, dude. Like I have joints. You know, like I have joints, bro. I can get back pain. I need a Robaxacet if I pull out a muscle. You know what I mean? So it's not that easy. It's not just fun and games. Even though it looks like fun and games, it ain't really. You know, especially because if you really want something out of sex magic, because some people, oh, let's practice sex magic, they have sex one time and that's it. We just did sex magic. No, that's not how that shit works. You know, that's not how that shit works, bro. Like at all, man. Like, you know, no, it's a consistent effort. It's a consistent effort, bro, and you have to have a goal. And not only that, both of you need to have a goal, but both of you needs to be on the same level. Both of you need to be on the same level. Women always come at me to be like, women are always telling me, I want to be your equal. But you're not. You know? And the reason why I'm saying that, let me tell you why I'm saying that. You know why you're not? Because you have to ask. If you have to ask, it's like when you go into the store and you ask what's the price, and the clerk tells you if you have to ask, then you probably can't afford it. It's the same fucking thing. If you have to ask, then you don't have it. You don't need to ask. Because that's a trait of a high value man. A high value man doesn't necessarily underestimate or doesn't necessarily sees himself above others. He's stoic. He doesn't see levels. He doesn't see Dragon Ball power levels. That's not how he sees life. That's not how life works to him. No, there's just the people he's with that are all his equals. All of the people that he hang around with are his equal, or else he wouldn't be hanging around with. And then there's the people that straight up ain't, which is his ops, or anything of that matter. Haters and ops. So when women come to me, I hate, and I know where that shit comes from. It comes from fucking TV. It comes from TV. Those are not my teachings. Those are the teachings from you know who. We shall not name them on this channel at this present time. But you know who I'm talking about. Those are their teachings, not mine. Mine is very different. And when girls come at me and be like, well, I want to be your ego, I'm going to be like, it's weird. What do you want exactly? What are you actually asking? What does that mean that you want to be my equal? I don't understand. Where does that come from? What? Like, you know, like, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense because before we practice sex magic, we have to be on the same level. We have to be on the same playing field. Before I go out with you, we have to be on the same playing field. Before I even mention that I like you, I have to feel like this person is a better half of me. Well, not necessarily better half. I'm not talking about marriage here, but I gotta feel like this person is me. I gotta feel like this person is not me, but has things that I want that would make me equal to them and they to me. So women asking dudes to be equal is the weirdest fucking shit ever in history. Because you don't need to ask. If you with me, you with me. If I'm a boss and you're spending 24 hours with me every day, that means you a boss too. You can tell people to shut the fuck up. Now for real, you can tell people to shut the hell up because you're my everything. You're always there. You're the, you know what I mean? So it's kind of weird when women are kind of like, I want to be your equal. Then you're not. I don't understand what that means. No, you're not my equal. I'm gonna tell you straight up, no. I'm gonna say no because I don't understand what that means. I don't understand what that means. You know when you say some shit and then it's like ordering something out of fast food and that's not your order. You thought it was something else and it's something different. It's the same thing. I'm not gonna say yes because I don't know why you're saying that. Because it's weird that why don't you understand? Why don't you understand, man? Like, what? Like, you're not supposed to, you're not even supposed to ask. It's supposed to be felt. You're supposed to feel it. I mean, of course, dude has to say it at least once, one time, one day. You know what I mean? Like in a conversation or something. But mostly you feel it. You know it. If the dude is treating you like you're not his equal, you're gonna feel it. If he's treating you like you ain't shit, you're gonna feel it. You're obviously gonna know. There's no way you're not gonna know. That just doesn't add up. So that's like left wing, right wing bullshit. You're in the world of magic. In the world of magic, there's no left wing, right wing bullshit. We're not politicians. We don't politic. We deal with dead people, spirits, and gods. We're not into LGBTQ community. We're not into all that, man. We don't. That's not our shit. That's not our business, man. So when you come around with all your knowledge, it can sound off to a magician because a magician doesn't think the same way everybody else does. Obviously. We're halfway crazy. You know what I mean? We halfway crazy. Some of us are goddamn geniuses. We're introverted. We have the most peculiar nicks and knacks that you can think of. Some of us talk to ourselves. Well, some people think that we're talking to ourselves, but we're actually talking to a bunch of fucking spirits. We did like this, like we look crazy. We're some crazy motherfuckers. So, to you to come around and for something that already supposed to be known and asking for it, red flag. Red flag. This is nope. Like no. Red flag. And it is a recurring issue. It's a recurring issue because women are always asking men to be their equal. No. No. That's it. That's all. Just no. You know what I mean? I don't know what you're asking. It's weird. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know. This sounds like some kind of entrapment. Like you're trying to put me in some shit that I'm not in, bro. Like it sounds weird. So you don't have to ask men to be their equal. You're supposed to be our equal. Right off the bat. So if you go out with a dude and you have to ask him, don't go out with him. Period. Period. Point blank range, for real. Point blank range. If you have to ask for respect in a relationship, don't, dog, like, come on. you you know, like, give me a break, you know what I mean? Like, give me a break. So darkness is spreading. Darkness is spreading, and this is the time for women. Women are not gonna kick our ass this year, but we're gonna understand some things, and it might make us feel ashamed about how we used to act with them before. So I don't know if you consider that an ass kicking. Some might, some could, but you know, at the end of the day, we're gonna understand a lot about women this year that we didn't. Well, we're gonna understand a lot about women this year that we didn't understand, because like, I don't like it, because it's one of my fucking secrets. You know, I'm a women charmer. You know, I can use telepathy to get women and all that shit, and I don't want other people to be able to do that. I fucking hate guys. I hate guys. I fucking hate them. I don't trust them. They're disgusting. They're gross, nasty motherfuckers. I don't fucking trust dudes. So no, I don't want them to have this sort of knowledge. Period. It might make things better. It might. If the gods decide to do this, there's a fucking reason. I don't want them to. You know, I fucking hate people. I don't think they deserve that shit. Nah. Like, no. Like, no. You know, no. They don't deserve this. People, what's coming, they don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. And you know I'm right. You know I'm right. You know, if there's a gift coming, I don't see why people deserve a gift right now. At all. I don't see why people would deserve a gift. Why would people deserve a gift? Why people deserve a gift right now? Why? For what? What the fuck? What great big thing they did that did deserve a gift? Fuck people. Anyways, I'm talking about stuff that's above my pay grade right now. So anyways, you know, but it just sucks, because I wouldn't mind saying these things to people that pay for, you know, that kind of knowledge and stuff. And a friend, I don't mind if I know you and stuff, you know, I don't mind saying it. But that's just you, you know, or that's just the people, the small amount of people that's on my website, you know. So that's not a lot of people, so I don't feel, you know, bad. And even if it was a lot of people, they all paid, so I don't mind, you know. But just like that, like, ugh. Anyways, so, because I find people disgusting. First of all, there's people that find me disgusting for doing the things I do. I think the same shit about people. I think they're disgusting too. So, you know, like, you know, it is what it is. So, the abyss is the all-encompassing energy. The crown of thorns is the energy that you need to get rid of to renew your energy and to save your soul from the true devil that we all know as the God. Crown of thorns, these are two vocabulary words, crown of thorns and the abyss. Please remember those words. Use it consistently, use it wisely, use it every day, so that you can make all the demons in the hell grin and smile and laugh with you, and then they'll give you things and stuff and blah blah blah. So this video is way too damn long. Subscribe to my channel. This was fun. I love this. This was a great video. You know, I'm sorry, ladies. I'm not trying to, you know, say nothing wrong or something. I'm just specifying certain things that we all need to work on, you know, because you're not, like the other one says, ain't nobody wrong here. You know, it's just shit happens. You know, sometimes I have proven myself to be quite the fucking idiot recently with my girlfriend. So, you know, I mean, of course, she has some issues. There was some things that she did I didn't like. There's always two sides to the story, you know. But I don't really care, you know. I don't care because I know most of it was my fault. You know, so that's why I don't care, you know. You know, so anyways, man, like I said, not trying to diss y'all, not trying to be a dick. I'm trying to help you progress. And I know a lot of girls will not give two flying fucks about what the fuck I just said. And they're gonna keep doing whatever the fuck they doing, you know. And there's some women that are actually gonna try, you know. So, like I said, no puns intended, no offense meant. I hope this wasn't offensive because I was actually trying not to be offensive. So I hope I wasn't offensive. I hope the message was clear. Like I said in my other video, it's understood. You know what I mean? So anyways, see you guys later. Have a good one. Peace out.